AI solutions for content marketing, CEO edition. You are welcome to the We Don't Play podcast show. Most importantly, you are welcome to knowledge. You're welcome to understanding. You're welcome to balance. Thank you for being here, and I'm excited that we are going to have a great conversation about topics that matter to you. And I feel like this is the best time to talk about this, especially knowing that this is the last day of the month in July. We are grateful, excited, blessed, and happy to be here. And I'm excited that you're listening too, because what you're about to listen to is something you probably never heard before. And you're going to be like, yeah, what else haven't I heard? But there's always something new to learn, because the more you know, the more you don't know. And that's what I know you should know too. And as you're listening to this edition on content marketing, especially with AI, your business should be thinking out loud instead of thinking from within. There has to be a balance between the two, because there has to be a balance between speaking and listening. What do I mean? When you're speaking online, it means that you're showing up in the form of a blog, a podcast like this, in the form of communicating through text, through video, through image. And at the end of the day, your goal is to make a statement, is to make an impression, is to make an impact. And if that impact, that impression, and that connection isn't made, then what you've just done is you've wasted time on both ends of this, I can say both ends of the axis, because your accessibility to connecting with someone is dependent on your messaging and your clarity. So when you hear people talk about what you talk about and they explain it the way you should be hearing it, then that says a lot about how you're explaining things to people. For example, I had an amazing interview yesterday with a founder of a company, and he's been running his company for decades. I mean, decades. And they've been doing SEO since, Yahoo days, like we talk about back in the days. Even he showed me one of those old school books, which was really classic to see yesterday. And we're talking SEO, we're talking AI, we're talking business, we're talking marketing. And it hit me, and I'm like, we're all founders here, business owners, CEOs. We're really expressing ourselves, and we're getting to know more about what the market is needing. And we come to find out that not many businesses are using AI the way they should be using it. Most people, like, it's 2023. And that's okay, but we need to evolve. And some people are still thinking, yeah, I'm not really into this AI. Nah, I'm not really. Okay. We have some late bloomers, we have early risers, we have early adopters, we have alpha beta testers. It depends on who you are, really. If you're scared to jump, then you won't jump. If you jump and you realize that you actually can do it, then you know you can do it. Every time you try something for the first time, it's always going to be hard. But the more you keep trying, the more you keep doing, the more you keep going, the more you keep getting better. And that's why AI is getting better. And we have solutions for you today for content marketing purposes. So if you have any questions about AI, content, marketing, SEO, this is a room for you. In fact, I'm going to add SEO to this room if it makes sense, but we'll see. Because when you think about it as a business, you have to ask yourself, what are you using? First of all, you're looking at the cost, time-wise and price-wise. So it's interesting. So when you look at your business, ask yourself one question. What are you counting? Are you counting the cost, the price? What's the price? What's the cost? Right? How much time do I have to put into this? How much energy do I have to put into this? How much do I have to connect? What are the things that I'm doing? So I'm going to really break it down for y'all today. So please ping your friends in so we can talk about these tools, best practices. And if you have any questions, click the link above and hire SEO services now so that you can start your business correctly and do it in the right way so you don't waste time looking around instead of showing up for the people who are looking for you. So we're going to talk about that today. Hey, John, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well, Favour, and I hope you're having a great Thursday.
I am. Thank you so much. Please let people know who you are so that they can also connect with you too.
All right, first of all, my name is John Wiley. I go by Uncle John in a lot of rooms. I am a syndicated radio show host. I started as a podcast. I've been in radio about 20 years. In 2017, I started the podcast version of my show. It's quickly recruited by radio. We're now on 146 radio stations, broadcasting weekly across the United States to about 48, a little more than 48 million combined population. We estimate the audience about 4 million per week. And then episodes going on as a podcast, and currently it's the top 0.05% ranked podcast worldwide, according to Listen Notes. And Million Podcasts ranks it as the number one law enforcement podcast in the world. So podcast and is the discoverability factor of that has a lot to do with me and my success. Social media SEO, and I'm looking at my analytics. And yes, I did see some traffic from some of the AIs. I've got to get better at that, but I'm all ears, man. Like always, thank you.
Thank you so much, John, for being here. Yes, I love that we're applying SEO and marketing in a new way and also embracing AI. You know, one of the conversations I was talking about with the founder yesterday and his team, and an amazing guy too that was on there too, we said the same thing. AI is exposing SEO. SEO is being simplified by AI. So that means SEO is not going anywhere, because people say, is SEO dead? Is SEO going down? Is SEO going to run out of business? No, we're not going anywhere. In fact, we're the ones that are now actually controlling the algorithm. If you really know what I mean, we actually write for the algorithm. Before, it's like, hey, let's just rank for the algorithm. Now we write for the algorithm. Why? Because we're writing in speech, we're writing in text, we're writing in form of media files. So when you start thinking about your content, your question now is, how are you as a business owner going to write for AI? Because gone are the days that you're ranking for search. Yes, you can rank. That's great. You can be in the top ranking keywords, but that doesn't mean anything anymore if it's not contextual to your brand, to the experience, to the fashion, to the style, and to definitely the brand engagement of your business. If someone's not engaging with your business, there has to be a brand behind the keyword. You can't just rank for a keyword. If you're ranking for a keyword, it's because you're using that keyword. For example, right now, if you look and you search with AI, search any search, and you say, what are the best podcasts for Pinterest SEO? My podcast shows up. The We Don't Play podcast shows up. Ask any AI search engine and you will see it. You're going to get a list of them, and I'll be one of them. It's called We Don't Play. So check it out. And you'll realize how I can tell you that confidently is because I can see it from my analytics. I'm not guessing. I'm not here to say, call a rainbow a rainbow. I'm telling you exactly what it is, because we can see these things. We can read them. What is Grok saying? What is ChatGPT saying? What is Claude saying? What is Perplexity saying? These are things that your business needs to know. This is the CEO edition, because a lot of businesses, owners, CEOs, CMOs, we don't know these things. We don't know what SEO is. We don't know what GEO is. Yes, you have a business, and thank God I'm in a business that I'm able to do it and wear two hats and say, okay, yeah, I can be CEO and I still know SEO. But some CEOs don't know SEO, and some SEOs don't know how to be a CEO. So at the end of the day, it's not given. You have to really understand, okay, what is this Venn diagram looking like for me? How am I going to fit into this frame? And with AI, it starts off with understanding, how do you become a solution for your content? So, content marketing, here's step number one. If you want to be great with your content in 2025, 2026, here is a catch. And if you don't catch this ball and it drops, that's on you. Whether you put it in baseball or volleyball, basketball, it's on you. This is it. Catch this. Go to searchconsoleaudit.com. Put in your website. Find out the information about your website that the algorithm knows about you. Write content about what people are expecting you to talk about as a brand, and then identify the products and services you can give as a solution. When you do that, you're going to now use any AI tool that you want, whether it's DeepSeek, whether it is ChatGPT. I use Harpa AI. For those who don't know Harpa, introducing to you Harpa. You've probably heard of Harpa before. Harpa is an agent. It's an agent AI. Let me see it like this. It's an agent that is pretty much like a task runner for you as well. So it pretty much combines all the brains in one, and that's what's called agentic SEO. So when you look at, you have to use your computer for this. Actually, you can't use your phone for this. You have to log into your computer, and if you need a link, let me know. So you're using Harper AI to scan things, to put things out there, and to run tasks. So when I use these tools, right? These tools are the tools I use as a CEO to really scan. And even with my team, I say, hey guys, go to Harper, check this out. And they come back and they show me amazing things. Because sometimes you're like, what are we doing with our time? Are we prompting all day or are we taking action all day? That's the real question. So as a CEO, you need to know that SEO is important. As a chief executive officer, you need to know that search engine optimization is important, because your AI solution is based on a brand mention, right? Now, for you to rank in the LLMs, which is the large language models, you need to be brand mentioned or non-brand mentioned. What does that mean? If you're not mentioned, it means you don't have a citation. Right now, if you talk about what is Clubhouse Plus, go to Google and you see my podcast episode that I talked about. You see the web link. I did 2 articles back to back. So those 2 articles are backing each other up on top of the 2 episodes that I did that are backing each other up too. So that's 4 counts, 2 blogs, 2 podcasts, 1 Google, for results. So when you dominate like that, and then you end up on ChatGPT, you end up on Grok, you just do the same thing. It's not rocket science. It's work, but people aren't going to do the work at all. I know this for a fact. That's why I'm giving it to you for free, because people are not going to do the work. That's the same thing Gary Vee says. He will give you the sauce, he will give you the juice, he will give you the formula, but some people will still not do it. Myron Golden will tell you this times this equals this. And this is how to get this plus this to get this. And you look at him like, yeah, great, cool story, bro. And then you don't do it. And you wonder why it's not working. It's because you didn't take action. So this is the hard talk for you, because I've come to see that a lot of businesses are just winging SEO, and they're talking about it like it's just wind that's just blowing. And if it blows, it blows. If it doesn't blow, who cares? But in my mind, I'm wondering, in the next 5 years, are you going to be thinking the same thing, or will you be wishing upon a star that you wish you took action with what you heard? Because sometimes people don't take action until something happens. So I'm giving you the formula on how I'm showing up myself with a keyword that is being asked by many people. So if you take that same formula and put that into your own website, you start to realize that if you do that for every question and every answer, then you show up for the right things that you show up for. Because Google is going to pick citations that are credible, meaning that it's going to pick websites like Spotify, like your website if it has great domain authority, like LinkedIn, like Pinterest, like YouTube. Places that are placed with information that matches back to you. If you look at a YouTube video, the words on your YouTube video in the actual title are keywords. In the description box, they're keywords. So if these keywords are not matching, how are you going to show up in the search results for the right keywords that you're not searching for, not searching with it? So your solution now is to ask yourself, how am I going to make this even better? I'll give you an example. If you have a video, and I'm going to use Harper for example, I'll use Harper and YouTube. If you have a video, a podcast, a video that you recorded and you don't have time to timestamp, go into Harper AI, go to the YouTube video that you watched or you recorded or the one that you want to scan, and then let me give you the shortcut key on the keyboard. You have to hit /3 times for you to activate Harper. So when you do that, it's going to open it up on your dashboard on the right side. And then you now say, hey, Harper, or whatever you want to say, please transcribe this YouTube video and give me the timestamps. And what it will do, it will scan the whole video, whether it's 7 hours long, 2 hours long, it's going to scan everything and give you the timestamps, right? Now, it's up to you to decide what timestamps you want to use. And what I realized too is when you look at the timestamps on YouTube, I'm going to go a little technical. When you look at the timestamps on YouTube, because I did this also for emails and it's working amazingly well. When you look at a timestamp on YouTube and it says 00 colon or full colon 39 seconds, right? That means it's going to be youtube.com/video/watch/ whatever the URL is going to be, question mark. Then it's going to be, I'll say 39 seconds, question mark equals 39S, S to stand for seconds. Now, when you see that, you'll be like, okay, cool. What does that have to do with me? What it has to do with you is that anytime you start creating timestamps, those are links, because timestamps are hyperlinks. That's why when you click on a timestamp in the video, it pushes you straight to that section of if you say, if it's 1 minute, 7 seconds, it's going to push you exactly to that point, because it's going to count 60 plus 7, that's 67 seconds. So it's going to say 67S. If it's 300 seconds, it will say 300S, right? This is content marketing for you today. So when you create these content pieces and you tell Harper to give me this responses, the only way Harper is going to, because I've done this test with so many videos, what I've realized is if you want Harper to scan through your video, that means you need to have captions auto-generated. You need to have captions within your video, because you have captions off, then Harper can't scan or Harper can't read through the transcript of the YouTube video that you're trying to get the timestamps from. So you need to also keep that in mind so that you don't miss out on that opportunity. So when you do that with Harper, you get all the timestamps, you bring those timestamps to your blog, or you bring them to your email, or you bring them to your website. You're sending people back to that page, you're putting them even into your YouTube description box. When you start doing this consistently, you start realizing that you have chapters on YouTube. Those chapters are going to be linked to your website, especially if you did it correctly. And now you can actually connect with people who are looking for the exact things, because not everyone's going to watch a 2-hour YouTube video. But if you put timestamps and put 10 and you focus on the exact key frame topics that you want people to discover, you start realizing you have spikes, you have dips, you have key moments, you have places that people can actually connect with. If you know that the 5th minute to the 7th minute is the most talked about point in your video, then you can now use that content to now drill down and explain more why it's important, why you said it the first time. Now, the AI solution is you saving time, right? The AI solution is not going to replace what you're doing, because if you don't know what you're doing, then the AI is not going to give you the solution. The solution is because you have expertise in what you're trying to get out of that you already know about. So when you now go to your content marketing solution and you say, okay, now I can put this on LinkedIn, I can put this on YouTube, I can put this on TikTok, then you can easily grow from there, because your website is actually gaining mass appeal. And you're also learning about the business because people are responding back to you online. When you start thinking about your analytics, it helps you to really know where people are connecting with you. So when you start seeing that, oh, this article is doing well, then let me do more, because it's not just a matter of talking about it once. And here's the thing about AI solutions and content marketing that I want to really drill down. Then I've done about at least five Clubhouse articles since I joined Clubhouse in 2020. So I've always been ranking on Google for anything Clubhouse related when it comes to understanding how to be on this app, from the days of when it was an invite only app till now that we have Clubhouse Plus. So because I've gained that authority over time, that's 5 years of track record history that you can look back and say, yeah, there was an article that was written 2021, 22, 23, 24, 25, and you can see it. But if it's never there, it's never been there, you can still create that motion, but you have to do it a little faster, because now it means that the 5 that took me in 5 years, you got to do those 5 in 5 days. And if you can do them in 5 days and then use that time to really scan and connect back to your audience, then you can really do well. But it depends on how frequent and how strategic you are with your marketing, right? You have to think about your audiences. You have to think about who's reading, who's learning from you. So when you use all these tools are going to help you to create more content, but it's not going to change anything if you don't change your strategy to incorporate with AI. So these tools that I'm giving you will help you understand how to really put it together. And at the end of the day, you can really use it for your business to grow even further. John, how do you use AI solutions for content marketing as a CEO?
Well, this is what I'm learning. So, for example, my main I use it two ways. So, number one is the one I use the most is going to be for writing content for I rewrite it as a blog post, for example. I write my original stuff and then I put it in there and I list the keywords and I tell them to use these keywords and I write it and I usually edit what it spits out. Number two, this is something I've been using a lot of, and this can really be beneficial for a lot of people, time wise, time saving wise, and also in response to your page wise. On Facebook and the meta properties in particular, when I'm doing posts, I take what my post is I've written and I'll go to meta.ai and I'll say, rewrite this as a Facebook post. And pretty much what it spits out, I use. It'll even give me the hashtags. So they use that for Facebook, Instagram, which is connected, and then from my Pinterest, which absorbs automatically all my Instagram content. And then I'm also focusing on discoverability with AI for searchability. And right now, Perplexity is ranking the highest. There's not a lot, but I want to find more. And I did some research. I think the other day you did a room about AI, and I checked ChatGPT, Claude, Meta AI, and I think two other ones. And out of the five, four of them showed my show um, when the podcast or website, when a search for it came up. So I'm all ears. I'm willing to learn more. But yeah, I look at more as a producer and publisher than I do as a consumer.
Love that. Love that. Congratulations. That's a huge win. That's a big one because when you start learning, I mean, think about it this way: when you start learning the algorithm early and then the algorithm starts learning you early, it's a great bond at the beginning. It's like before. I've heard this, when before like you have a baby and everything, if you talk to your baby before they're born, if you read books to them before they are born, they get smart. If you say good words of affirmation, like you're really focusing on the neuropsychology of the brain workflow of the child, the chemistry, the build up, the emotional value, everything intertwined. The same thing you can apply as an analogy can go into AI because right now AI is super early, super early. So we're so much in the early beginning stages of AI that in the next 5 years, what we're doing right now will be so obsolete, that will be so dinosauric, if I can say it like that, because we'll be doing things that will be way more advanced than what we're doing right now. If we think right now is advanced, just think about what we'll be doing in the next 5 years. Talk less, 2 years. We're already going to August. Before you know, we're going to be saying Happy New Year 2026. So it's the question still boils down to you as a CEO, as a business owner that's listening. How do you want to show up online for these results? Because the same results you've been ranking for on Google search are the same results you want to be ranking for on AI search. And if you're not on the AI search, that means that you're not ranking based on the mentions. And how do you show up for mentions? You have to show up for mentions by making sure you have markup data. If you have marked up data, if you have schema, these are things that are going to help you create these things as a business. If you're not looking for this information, then it's going to be hard for you to find it when you start looking for it and you don't know where to go. But if you know where to go and you start asking ChatGPT, asking Perplexity, asking Meta AI, you start getting those responses and you're like, yeah, this is because I've been showing up for these brand mentions consistently. And honestly, when I look at everything, just like the way John has said it, podcasting is the fastest way for you to really get to the search results. Because when you really think about it, all these other platforms, they're very saturated. Both, and I think this is the only industry in the world that I can actually say this. Podcasting is the only industry that I know that has a higher number of non-listeners and a higher number of non-active hosts. John, let's talk about this. And it's still one of the most top revenue-based models that really businesses can actually use to, have a high profit margin year over year, even quarter over quarter.
You're absolutely right. And by the way, I don't have the exact numbers in front of me. Favor is better at that than I am. But let's just say there's 4.5 million podcasts worldwide. Of those, I think it's 75% or more have not produced a new episode in over a year. So there, a lot of them are not active, but they're still focusing on the marketing aspect of it because it's a 24/7. That tells all my guests is a 24/7, 365 commercial for your content, your story, your brand, your product or services. I was just reading an article where they did ratings from Nielsen and Edison Research and Radio Inc. And the number one performer in ad revenue in the United States is still radio, AM, FM radio by 64%. However, podcasting is generating about 19% revenue, an increase from last year. There's obviously some advantages. The biggest advantage is this: you don't have the thresholds and the cost of having a radio show and a radio station. Some of these radio stations can cost millions of dollars, and to get on the air is no easy task. With a podcast, you can do that, and the podcast, the content is available 24/7, 365 on demand wherever someone wants it from wherever they are. So always keep your audience in mind. And yeah, if you're not podcasting now, look, even if you only do one episode a month, and you get about 10 or 15 in the can, you're way ahead of the game because you're refreshing search engines. You're doing a lot of things that are all pluses that Favor can explain more.
Thank you, John. You're so right on that piece. When you look at 24/7, 365, nonstop, evergreen, high quality, barrier free entry content, that is literally podcasting. And I've seen it in a way that is super important because it actually attracts brands to you. Yesterday, Microsoft sent me an email and they're going to pay me for a 1 hour interview, and I'm going to meet them on Monday because I even said I'm going to start talking about it now because I feel better that after 5 years of using this company and connecting our clients to this tool, I don't talk about it much here on Clubhouse because these are things we do with operations as a business. And now I'm like, okay, they noticed it. So I was like, okay, Microsoft is LinkedIn and Microsoft is also Microsoft Clarity. So I was like, okay, let's see what happens here. So I got an email yesterday and Microsoft, I was like, okay, this is very exciting to see because there are a lot of things that I would love to talk about. And it helps me as a business owner to really help more people understand it. Because when I see the branding, there's some things I would say that I wouldn't have to come and say here because it's not really important for this purpose. But when I start doing R&D, research and development studies, and I've been doing this for a long time, this is not the first time this is happening. So when I see it happen with Pinterest, when I see it happen with I remember Later, I had a call with later.com. This was back in 2019, and I sat with their staff and I was telling them about the platform. So I've seen time and time again companies do this, and it's just because of podcasting, because I talk about these things and they listen. Companies, literally, I know business owners, leaders, executives, VPs, presidents listening to this podcast because businesses are thriving based on information. And the way I send out emails and connect with people, the feedback I get is that this information is not seen everywhere else. So it's something unique I'm bringing to the table out of just telling you something off YouTube, because I don't, any room you hear me speak on, any podcast, we've had over 550 episodes. There are no scripts. You've never heard me flip a page on this app ever, because there's no time for that. Because everything is coming from experience, coming from learned practices, best practices. You need to have the mindset, you need to have the skill set, you need to have the tool set. And if none of those three are working or one of those are lacking, then something's going to happen and one of those things have to shift, meaning that you have to either think about bringing somebody that's going to help you with either or do it yourself and, practice more to make perfect, because we're not perfect, but we just perfect our craft, our art. So I've looked at this from those experiences and seen that if companies are reaching out to ask questions about products, and I'm here telling you about these same products, these are products that you need to know about. Because when you start using them for your content marketing pieces, you're able to read the analytics. Just like John said, look at your Google Analytics. There's a platform called Fathom Analytics. If you've never heard of it, check it out. I keep talking about these platforms so that you hear them. If you've never heard them for the first time, please research them, because I mean, what gain is it for me to keep this information from you? You can use it yourself, but when you start seeing your rankings and you start looking at your numbers, it's when you start realizing, oh, okay, we actually need to switch this up. Then that's when you know, okay, this is what's going on. I use Fathom Analytics because I understand that people are looking for specific information. And I'm going to do a LinkedIn case study on Fathom Analytics because I've been with them for the past 1 month now. It's not even up to a month. I think it was July 9th I started, because I found this platform and I said, let me give it a shot. It's your alternative to Google Analytics. So for me, what I've noticed is when I talk about a new tool, a lot of businesses, a lot of companies, because I talk about it and I also write about it both in blogs and in podcasts. So it's not just, hey, check this out. You actually read the facts. And then I also connect the companies so that they can also go do their own research. Because at the end of the day, I don't gain anything from telling you one thing about the company. I just want you to know more so that you can do better and actually have a better, experience online, because not everyone knows these things. So I talked about this platform, and before you know it, it just, took off. So I said, okay, you know what? Let me be more specific in how I'm delivering this information and show people how it is. So I looked at Fathom, and right now as I'm speaking to you, it's pulling out Chat GPT sources, it's pulling out paid sources, it's pulling out bounce rates, it's pulling out actual people. Because when you think about HTML as a website or as a web page, it's a script. So when there's a script that's being run at the back end of your page, right? I'm going to just go a little technical. There's on-page SEO, which is what everybody reads. It's like your house. Everybody sees your house. Oh, it's a pretty house. It's a fine house. Oh, I love the paint. Oh, I love the front, whatever it is. You love what you see, whether it's the outdoor furniture or the indoor furniture from outside. You love what you see because that's the aesthetic, that's the feeling, that's the theme, that's the goal that you wanted to achieve, right? That's the same thing as your website. Now, the same thing applies on the back end. What are the scripts? The scripts are, is your water running? Are the lights on? Do you have your insurance? Is your backyard looking good, clean? Is HOA giving you a green light? That's the script, right? Nobody sees that. Nobody knows if your lights are on. If I can drive past your house, but your lights may have been off for the last 6 months. I don't know that. It probably has been on all day, all night. I don't know that. But how I'll know is that when I'm running that script at the end of the day, it's going to populate and going to show. So what is a script on a website? A script is what you're putting within the analytics, the pop-up, all those things that you start noticing, the back, the chat widgets, all those things. Those are the scripts. So if your scripts are reading correctly, and one of those scripts is Fathom Analytics, that's why I give you this analogy, you start realizing that when people start going to your website, you start realizing that people spend time in here. For me, there are a number of countries I've never seen on Google Search Console that I'm seeing on Fathom Analytics in terms of states and cities, because Google Search Console gives you countries only. They don't break it down into cities and states. Google Analytics can break it from country to city, right? Or I can say from country to state to city. Now, when you look at Fathom Analytics, it doesn't just give you country, state, city. It also goes all the way down to region and district, because you start noticing there's some actual places that when you search, because I did some research and I looked at some places I'm like, this is not even a city. This is a region. This is a division. This is a province. This is a place that is more like a DMA. Like, okay. So when I start noticing these things, I notice that happens too on Pinterest, because you're not just looking at regions, you're looking at metros, you're looking at cities, you're looking at districts, you're looking at zip codes. Like, the moment you start going deep into those insights as an analytics wise, and you realize that this is the top 5 most listened to or watched or visited cities, and you realize that these cities are also tagging to these zip codes, and then you retarget ads through content that they're actually researching through what you can see in the analytics dashboard back into your website framework, then what you're doing is that you're feeding them what they came for. If I want mangoes and you give me pineapples, that's not what I'm going to be here for. But if you say you want mangoes, I'm like, okay, would you want ripe ones? Do you want unripe ones so that you can keep them for a while? Or do you want them right now? Or do you want mango juice? What do you want? Mango squeeze? Do you want mango lemonade? What do you want? And that way it now makes somebody feel more connected because you're adding what they came for and you're adding value on top of what they already have. So if I want mango and I want to put a cherry on top, that's because I want that. So it's creating the need for the person that's actually coming that you're feeding, and then also supplying them with information through a solution using AI to make sure that you're able to know how to respond back in a faster way, as opposed to just connecting the dots and just writing content because you have to post once a day on a platform. So when you look at this dynamics, use these platforms and use this analytics tools to really help you see a little bit deeper into your insights, because Google doesn't give you everything, which they don't have to. It's free information. But trust me, there's way more that Google is not telling you about your business that you could see if you connect the right things to your web pages. So, and AI will definitely show that too if you do it correctly. So I'm loving that we're talking about this today. Entree, what's going down? Good morning. What you talking about today? AI, tell us something that we got to know about content
Good
marketing.
morning. What it do? Nah, I hear you jumping. I hear you dropping some jewels. And I can definitely correlate it to some AI stuff when it comes to being able to be better at being able to have the right AI tools. Sometimes it's the underlining technology that you want to see is if it's actually helping your business. And I think what you teach is valuable. But this is the thing. People think they can get a prompt and run off and think that's going to solve a system problem, right? So when you mentioned all those things that the AI could be crawling for when it comes to XML, your HTML, the code of your site, maybe the branding, those different things. When you think about the AI helping you without you being there, it's more than a prompt. So it's not prompt engineering. The new word they're calling it is called context engineering, right? So when you're doing this manually, as a human, you're not you're doing more than prompting yourself. You're actually prompting yourself with context to use this tool, to go to this system, to go prompt this, to and basically that mix, is a step past prompt engineering. It's context engineering, and if we can't context engineer, sometimes we may not understand what the AI tool is doing behind the scene, the context behind the scenes. So learn being more, knowing more, we can understand the tools that's going to help us behind the scenes based on the context that it's doing for our business. So and as we build better AI systems, we should speak to it with more context, and it should live by context. It should live by prompts without us having to prompt it manually every day. And that's just my perspective, because the AI can help you while you're sleeping, but ChatGPT by itself can't do nothing while you sleep. So when you correlate those together, you got to get outside the box.
That is true. Thank you. Thank you for bringing that in. It's a different mindset today when we look at content and doing it in the way that we should do it, connecting the dots the right way that people should be seeing it. Because anything that you're doing right now is, I say, one piece of the cake or one piece of the pie out of a lot of things that you could be doing too, because your website is going to still be important. A lot of business websites need to have structure. And the more structure you have on your website, the more advantage, or even the higher the advantage score, the higher the average you can actually get by being part of that control system within your niche. Because there's some topics that if you were to cover and you were to answer in the form of a podcast, in the form of a blog, and you do it at least 2 to 5 times, that's at least 2 to 5% of the possibilities that you could get as a conversion lift. Because you don't give what you don't have. You know how they say you have to make money or you have to spend money to make money? Yeah, you say that you spend time to make money, or you make money spend time to make money or spend money to make money, or however you're going to make the money to make the time back, or make more time for what you have so that you can make more money with less time, that's going to decide basically on how you're going to be doing this. And John, no worries. Yeah, I can't wait to hear about the stats about Clubhouse Plus. No problem. So you have to think about your content, and we're going to be here, for the next 12 minutes. If you have any question about content, SEO, AI, please put in the chat. Don't wait till the end, because I notice sometimes we get to the end and people have questions. If you have a question now, ask it because we're going to have a hard stop at the top of the hour. So I want us to make sure that we have a great topic today. And I want to make sure that you can take action, because I noticed even when I started doing rooms here on Clubhouse, like the last room I did, it was about 30 minutes. And I think within the first 2 hours, there were about 10 replays on Clubhouse. I was like, oh, wow. When you guys see longer rooms, you spend more time. But when you see shorter rooms, you guys want to run in and 30 minutes run it, because 30 minutes, yeah, I can, that's a drive. I can do that in 30 minutes. Yeah, you have 30 minutes if you have time to take care of what's important to you. So it's going to be very important too. And I mentioned this earlier today, and before I do, I wanted to welcome you, Juliana, to the room. Good morning. How are you? Love to see you here. Are you using AI solutions for content marketing? And if you are, as a CEO, how are you doing it?
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Favour. Good morning, John. Yes, I am on AI. I even pay for AI before it became AI so public and was free, because I there was one called Jasper. I think 4 or 5 years ago. It was like $20 a month. I'm one of those people who are anything technology junkie. So the minute I hear it, I jump in it. So I use it to do posts. I use it to help me gather my thoughts when I'm thinking about something to do for my clients or do for people to learn more about numbers. I'm a CPA by trade. And so I let it help me put it down, like bring it down, the jargon down, so that the average person can understand it. And this is how I'm using it. And I'm loving it because people are understanding exactly what I'm trying to say by bringing it the notches down. Instead of speaking in accounting terms, it brings it down for me. So that's what I'm using it for. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, it definitely simplifies your process, and it gives you a much better result, long term. So it just depends on how you as a business want to operate. And I mentioned this earlier today, in the BWC room and the Breakfast with Champions room. Shout out to the Breakfast with Champions. This is what I talked about earlier, and it was just very quick, because today I think sometimes I like to say these things so that it's heard, because sometimes we talk about all the good things, and sometimes we're like, what about the not so good things? Like, why would these things happen and you just watch them just slide? Because I had somebody schedule a call, and this is about solutions and content marketing and understanding, okay, somebody has a problem, and this might be you, this might be somebody who's thinking about this, and if it fits, please change your ways. Somebody has a problem, right? And then asks you for a solution. You give them a calendar, they book a call with you at a very early time, which is fine because I'm up early, but I end up getting on the call and you've booked with 3 phone numbers. So that means 2 out of the 3 I can't reach you. The one that I'm trying to reach you, I can't reach you. So I say, okay, what do we do here? So I call 6 a.m., nothing happens. Now, this person is ahead of me by, oh, John, you're back. Welcome back. Okay. So I'm just breaking down what just happened in a span of 3 days. And today was just the last straw. I said, no, this is unprofessional. I send a message. This person says, hey, I like what you're talking about, but it's a lot. And I said, okay, if it's a lot, let's talk about it. And you need help right now, let's talk about it. So you book a call for 6 a.m. And then when you book this call for 6 a.m. Central, which is 7 a.m. Eastern, I'm like, okay, let's get on the call. You don't show up. Then an hour later, I've called you. The two numbers I have on my account, I reach you. I can't really reach you. And then you call back and or you not even call back, you text and say, hey, sorry. Um, I had a migraine. I had something wrong. My head was not working, or I woke up late. And I'm like, it's fine. That happens. Then you reschedule you with another phone number. And then another phone number is put there, and I'm like, okay, so the number you put in my business card is different from the number you've booked with me. And now I have three numbers that I can't reach you on. And then I get up today because it was rescheduled for today. And she's like, oh, I tried to reach you. I was like, you try to reach me? Where did you reach me? This is my phone number explicitly. Type this, get this. And then she books a call for today. So today at 8 a.m. Central, I come on the Zoom and I don't see her again. And I'm like, okay, she's not here. So I went to email, I sent a message. Then she's like, oh, I've been waiting. She sends me a message on Clubhouse. I've been waiting for the last few minutes on a Zoom call. This is so unprofessional. I don't know what's going on. You know what? I'm tired of trying phone tag. I'm like, what phone tag? Did you call me? Phone tag means that you call me and I call you. So you're already confusing me. So I'm like, what is going on here? This is so weird. Why am I going through this? I'm past this stage. Like, we shouldn't be talking about this kind of thing. Like, if you book a call with a number that you should be able to be reached. Now you can't be reached. Now you're making me look like I'm the one that has a problem with timing, and you can't pick up your phone and you're not showing up on Zoom claiming that you're on a Zoom call that you've been on that is not accepting you in. And now I think to myself, okay, this person has now not said anything ever since that time. And I'm like, okay. If this is how people run businesses as a CEO, that's on you. But for me, one thing I've told God is that if somebody has a friendship, relationship, business, whatever it is, if this person is not meant for me, ex- release their let me say it this way, release their true nature early, and show me who they really are early, so I don't have to waste my time with them. And the moment this starts happening, I'm not surprised. That's why I'm not really surprised, because for me, I'm one person that I'm big on relationships, I'm big on integrity, I'm big on commitment. And if somebody's doing something that's literally off and that's their way, that means that if we start a business or if we start doing work together, it's going to get ugly. So I'd rather not even start with you, so that we don't have to go there or even have that conversation to begin with. So I'm just giving you the picture. And if I was to put this in your court, let's say, John, and you had that kind of experience, somebody doesn't show up to their podcast, you schedule with them, they don't show up, you do it again, you schedule with them, they don't show up, and now they look at you like, you're the one that's not scheduling properly. What would you say?
I wouldn't say anything. I'm not going to waste any more time on my time because I can't replace it. If they don't want what I have and they don't want to meet me on my terms, they can go somewhere else.
Facts. I just wanted to just hear that feedback. And Juliana also said not acceptable. Yeah, it's very unprofessional. But at the same time, these are the things that we have to understand and grow through, so that you also hear it's not always, roses and candles and rainbows. But at the end of the day, if things like this happen, you also have to know how to know what to do. Because the last thing you want to do is stress yourself with someone that is not even ready for you. So, and one of the things I've realized, the more money you make, the more profit, the more revenue you make as a business, the more silent or the more tactical or the more exclusive business gets. And I'll explain it this way. When you're dealing with, 5 figures, 6 figures, what happens is that even when you think about, business moves, these things take time, right? It could take 7 days, it could take 30 days, it could take 45 days, it could take 90 days. But when they happen, they're big. Like these concerts, these shows, when you see net 30, net 60, net 90, these businesses, when you start having business models like this, whether it's enterprise level or large business level, you start realizing that you deal with money differently, you deal with contracts differently. And if you've never had that type of experience, you won't know. So that's why I'm like, this things is so petty. Like, I don't have time for this anymore. So just to let you guys know that if you're really serious about content marketing, AI solutions as a CEO, you need SEO done correctly. You want to have content marketing done so that you can scale as a business, show up on the AI search results, and have conversations with people that actually need your product or service. Then this is the time for you to really prioritize your business online by using your website, using your email list, and also using your podcast if you have one to really connect with people on a weekly, monthly, quarterly, biannual, annual basis so that you can still retain that knowledge and connect with people within a global perspective. And if you can do that, connecting the dots consistently, then you're going to do so well. But right now, the solution for you is start a podcast. If you haven't heard anything from this show, from this room, start a podcast, name your podcast, and do it consistently. Don't stop. Keep going. Even if nobody's listening, that's fine. That's actually even better because now you can practice what you say, you can perfect your pitch. So when somebody actually listens to you for the first time, you have enough backing to prove that you actually been doing this for a long time. Because success is not printed overnight, it's not achieved overnight. It's through those long hours that you didn't see people working hard that you appreciate, because if it wasn't for those long hours that they were working hard, you wouldn't be applauding them the way you're doing now. So it has a balance. There has to be a time and a balance. And I've said this too: prayer, patience, and persistence is your superpower, or are key virtues to having a sustainable superpower. Because if you're able to balance those three, you can do it in a really, really good way as well. John, what would you tell someone that is trying to figure out what to do as a CEO and they want to figure it out, especially if they've never started it before or they aspire to be one?
So here's what I would say if you want to have a podcast, remember, it's not you, and you know what you want to say, but focus your attention on what the consumers, the potential target audience that you are going for, wants to hear about. You'll be far more successful because they're searching to discover you a lot quicker. Search engines will find you. Secondly, when it comes to SEO, even AI, you got to give the prompts, you got to make it as simple as possible. You got to make sure that people can find your content based on what they're searching for. So this is something I talked about with Favour in the chat. I use Google Analytics, and I'll check out Fathom. I appreciate the tip on that, Favour. So one of the things I did is I look at my general traffic acquisition, okay? And I use source codes, UTM, question mark, UTM underscore source equals Facebook, X, whatever it might be. A lot of people at Clubhouse Plus, they don't see the value of it. So I wanted to say, for example, Dr. Fashion's in here, good. I did an exhibit in Clubhouse. It cost Clubhouse Plus cost me $4.99 a month, and I got, what is the example? If you go click on my bio and go to the links, the second from the last link is my YouTube channel, and I talked to use that as an example. And just check out my YouTube channel, subscribe, follow up. I gave a 15% increase in followers by doing that for $4.99 a month. Plus, other bonuses that people connect, check my bio, and I can connect with them so I can see who checks my bio. I don't use the anonymous feature. A lot of people do. Here's what I was going to talk about. So I did a paid Instagram ad for about 5 days, and it delivered 11 visits to my website. 11. Clubhouse delivered 40. Clubhouse Plus delivered 40. And all I have to do is tell people about it. So whenever I'm on stage, whether it's my room or not, say these two things. Check out my bio, check out my links. If I'm doing an example about Facebook, the power of Facebook, it's the second link down. If you want to connect me, you want to hear episodes of my show because I don't sell anything, just go to the number one. That's my website. You'll find episodes right there. For those of you who are involved in sales, retail sales or service, whatever, it's about lead generation. And if people can't find you because you're not telling them, you're kind of lost in the water. So for $4.99 a month, Clubhouse is free. You can use it as a tool to drive traffic, and that could be the difference between being successful and not.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you for saying that. I think about the long term effect of that is, you're right. Using Clubhouse Plus, getting to know the people who have actually viewed your profile, then reaching out to them and then sending them an actual link to your website. That's one. If you do that for every other person that you're doing that to, that's connecting back with you, then imagine doing that in a week. You have 100 people in a week. That's 400 people in a month. Out of those 400 people in a month, you just don't know what's going to happen until it happens. But you will never know it will happen if you don't try it the first time. So it's definitely a great win, and I love that you're using Clubhouse Plus to definitely do that. I don't also use the anonymous feature because I'm always only going to rooms that I need to be in, so there's no need for that. But if you want to do it, great. That's a great feature you have there too. So if you need SEO marketing tactics, AI tactics, CEO marketing, which we're talking about today, so that you have a better asset acquisition as a business. You can master SEO by understanding the best practices to advertise your podcast, to advertise your market, and also advertise people that you're actually connecting with based on the algorithm. Because right now, AI search optimization is on the rise. And you need to think about how to create visibility tactics to get more business inquiries to your business so that you're also showing up as an expert or as an authority. And if you're not showing up in these pieces using owned media, right? We've talked about it before. There's owned media, there's paid media, there's earned media, and there's shared media, right? Owned media is what we're talking about here: podcasts, blogs, books, your PDFs, your Canva pictures, anything that is owned by you is your own intellectual property, right? So you want to turn that owned media into paid media. Actually, you want to turn owned into earned, because AI right now is earned media. I don't know if you know that. AI search optimization, artificial intelligence search engine optimization, as of today and it's always been, is focusing on visibility, is focusing on earned media, meaning that for you to earn a spot within the algorithm, it means that your owned media has to be highly valuable, that the AI search engine can credit you or cite you as a resource, as a credible resource for the person that's searching for that information. So it's becoming earned media. So owned media equals earned media. So owned media SEO is earned media AI SEO. So if you really look at it this way, when you now run paid media and people now go back to ChatGPT, go to all these same platforms we're talking about for earned media, and they find you, and then they go to those social media posts, which is now shared media, then you're everywhere. So you just got to think about your house. Do I have owned media? Do I have paid media? Do I have shared media? And do I have earned media? If you have these 4 types of media files, then you'll do really well, because every time you show up, you're going to earn something new. So everything that you own, you're going to earn, right? You don't want to earn less, because if you own more and you earn less, that's a negative, right? Even though your assets may depreciate over time, maybe by 1%, 5%, but you need to make sure that your assets have increased by 15%, by 50%. So you have to look at that model and ask yourself, as a business, what am I putting more into? And what am I getting out more of? So that's why you have to think about AI solutions for content marketing as owned media that will give you earned media opportunities so that you can show up on these search results. And we're dealing with sentiments, right? There's positive sentiment, there's neutral sentiment, and there is negative sentiment. As soon as I get off this episode, I'm going to be talking with the founder of Mentions, the person who did Mentions, one of the co-founders. I'm going to be talking with him about this platform because I got an invite to, get on the calendar so I can talk about it as an early beta tester on this AI tool. So I'm not just telling you do this for doing sake. I'm telling you to do it when you feel like it, when you think you need to do it as a business. But the more time you waste, or the more time you pend it, if it keeps pending and buffering and it's not loading and it's not getting to where you need to go at the right time, then it's going to be a missed opportunity. So I'm going to be talking with them to understand more of their platform, because I've been using it myself and it's been very, very eventful. So I'm not just thinking about myself, I'm thinking about you. That's why I come up here every time to make sure that you're understanding something new. So when I come back and tell you, hey, we need to focus on brand visibility and know how well you're earning media. Because when you think about brand visibility, it's earned media. If you get featured on a magazine today, it's because you earned it. And how will you know that you earned it? Because they're going to link back to your owned media, which is your website, which is your booking link, or wherever you want them to take you to, your PDF. Is going to be something that you own. So if you can own something now and own it 100% and then earn it or earn from it by paid media or by shared media or by earned media, it's great. So just think about this. Owned media equals paid media, earned media, and shared media. If you can own more media, meaning if you can own more content, meaning that if you can have more evergreen information that you can put on a hosting platform like a podcast, like on YouTube, like on your website, somewhere that people can come back to consistently, that they have access to, then you're going to start winning every single time. So this is important information to think about and ask yourself, where do you want to be? The more you're able to do these things, the faster it's going to be for you too. So I'm glad that we were talking about this today, and we can focus on this a little bit more, as we go. So thank you for listening. Thank you so much for being here, John, Amanda, Atlas, Dr. Fashion, Lynette, Dennis, Florian. Thank you for being here, Christiana, Monty, Merrill, and also Chukuneku. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you so much. We're going to be here again. Today is Thursday. This is the last day of the month. So I said I have to do something and let you guys know about something that I'm doing. Now, from August, I'm letting you know now, from August, from tomorrow, I'm going to start doing live. I mean, this is already live, but I'm going to do more enhancements. I'm going to do live workshops. And it's not just talking about what I'm showing with you here. I'm going to be scheduling workshops in advance that you can plan ahead for, and you can invest and take time to know if you want to do them, because I'm going to be going into most of the information I've been hearing. A lot of people want to learn about Pinterest. A lot of people want to learn about how to start a podcast. So I want to start off with the things that people are thinking about with their owned media. And then I'll start creating workshops for you to do it for yourself, because not everybody wants to stick with you for 3 months, for 6 months, for 12 months. People just want to get 3 hours done and get the ball rolling. So if you just said, okay, we just need 90 minutes together on a workshop, then come in, enjoy the workshop, check it out. If you like it, great. If you don't, come back another time. But I want you to learn what is happening and invest in it, because you pay attention to what you pay for. So even if it's going to be $50 or $5, whatever the price is going to be, you're investing that. If you're buying coffee, if you're buying a mug, if you're buying a house, you're buying something that's going to give you value over time. And that's why I want to come back here and give information. And I'm going to start having paid newsletters. So gone are the days that things are free. And why I'm telling you this now, because today is actually my last day. Let me just tell you guys now. Today's my last day. Today is my last day on the Spotify for Creators Network. The We Don't Play podcast show is officially moving to Amazon. So that means something. You're going to be listening to a lot of advertisements from companies, from brands, from businesses. You're going to be hearing a lot of host-read ads. You're going to be hearing a lot of workshops. You're going to hear a lot of packages, incentives, gifts, giveaways. We're going to do a lot of great things. It's going to be a really nice time. And I feel like now is the time to really show up for you. I mean, it's always been happening, but I think because the podcast is going to be 6 years on August 12th, 2025, then it's time to, go to gear 6 or have a, 6-star experience. We've done a 5-star experience for the 5 years. Now we're going to do a 6-star experience. And that includes workshops. I've always wanted to do live events, and I've actually done a poll in my email list, and I've asked more people, hey, what do you guys want? Do you guys want in-person workshops or online workshops? Do you want audiobooks or video courses? They just said, hey, we just want workshops. We want in-person and virtual workshops. And that's why I'm telling you this now, because I asked the people and the people have answered and the people have voted and the people know what they want. And I got to give them what they want. They want workshops. So we're going to create more workshops. And these workshops are going to help you work it out yourself. Or if you need more information, you can work it out with my team. We're a team of 10 plus me, 11 plus AI. So you just imagine the kind of workflows you're going to be getting from your website to your Pinterest to your podcast. Just your production is just going to be really stellar because you don't have time to do these things. You have time to make more impact. We can take care of those things for you. So if you need that information, click on my face. I have all my links. My booking links are available. Everything is here. If you want to connect to me on LinkedIn, please do so too. And we can definitely connect from there. So thank you so much, Lynette. I appreciate you. Yes, this is definitely going to be one of those times that I said, you know what? I've given you too much free information for the last 5 years on Clubhouse, which is great. And I'll still keep coming back. But I feel like at some point, we need to tone it down a little bit so that you can appreciate it a little bit more. And I think that's where we're going to. And it's a great feeling because sometimes you just have to grow. You know, if you stop getting uncomfortable, then that's a problem, because when you get too comfortable in something, you get too lazy, and then it just becomes flappy, and you don't want that as well. Will your replay still be available? You see what I'm talking about? You see what I'm talking about? Well, I'm not sure. I'm still thinking about that, but very soon things are going to be changing. So that's why I'm like, I'll leave whatever replays that are here will stay, but going forward, you may not have as much replays as you have here because you have to now join a community. I want to grow a community. We already have a community, but I feel like we're everywhere and I want us to be somewhere, meaning that I want us to be at workshops in person. If I say, hey, let's go to Miami, let's go to Vegas, let's go here, you pull up because you can invest in yourself. You would do that if you're going on a vacation. So why wouldn't you do that if you want to do a business tax write-off and actually do that as a business and actually learn something new? So it's going to be very, very important as well. So I'm excited as well to have that. And then, and Christina says, well, I'm new to the AI. I mentioned Dr. Tavis' room. Yes. Shout out to Dr. Tavis. Yes. Please listen to her podcast too, Women with AI. Please go anywhere and you can listen to that too. It's accessible and you can check it out as well. So AI is new, and that's why I'm really letting you know that here is the best place to connect, to learn. And if you want more information, Christina, the link available at the top will take you to the podcast, the We Don't Play podcast. Put your first name and your best email so that you can get emails from me. And that way you can get information like this so that you don't miss out on information that you need. So that's the best way. Email is the best way because I'm sending an email out today, July 31st, so that people can get to know what's going on. So you're the first ones to hear about this. That's why I always come here and tell you first. Then everybody else hears it. LinkedIn, Pinterest, email, it just even Apple, Spotify, people hear it after that, but you guys hear it first all the time. So it's always a privilege and it's always an honor connecting with you guys because y'all are amazing. Y'all are doing great work and I appreciate you. That's why I keep coming back because I'm motivated by what you guys do. And yeah, please check it out as well. And you can learn so much about it. So yeah, you're welcome, Christina. Definitely a great place to learn and grow. So I'm about to get into this AI meeting. I'm not going to lose. No problem. I followed you. No problem. We're here. We're not going anywhere. It's just that I want to make things better because we have to grow. I mean, I've been on Clubhouse. It's going to be 5 years on Clubhouse end of this year, November 24th. So I feel like there's a lot I need to do, and I need to make sure that you guys enjoy it as well because I want to give you more, but I can't give you more when it's free, if that makes sense, because you won't really take it like let me say this way, you won't take it with as much seriousness as you would if you'd invest in something that you're serious in. And it's not even a hefty price. It's something that is very minimal. It's a Netflix fee that you could do. And that way you can decide, hey, this is what I want to do. So, and I'm building it out. And when it's ready, I'll tell you guys about it because I've been cooking. I've been doing a lot of cooking in the background. That's why I've not said it much. But because it's the end of the year, end of the month, closer to the end of the year, I'm like, yeah, now we're getting into the season where I can really talk about it. So Q3, Q4, yeah, you guys are going to really learn a lot about things so that you'll be like, okay, this is actually better because you're so comfortable right now. But trust me, I'm making sure that you have an amazing time, and it will even be better because now you can actually access information that's better. For example, grants. If you want to learn how to win grants, I just had a conversation with somebody about some platforms that you can do that. And I've done that for a client, and she just won one. So it's something that I want you to enjoy because there are no excuses in 2025, 2026. And if I can lead you to someone that can do it, grants, whatever it is, to make the money you need to do whatever you need to do as a business, then we'll make that happen. So there's no excuse right now. It's up to you. Do you want it or not? That's why I don't want to give it to you for free. Now it makes sense, and I hope it does. So thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you all for being here. God bless you all. And thank you, Christina. I appreciate you as well for sure. Lynette, love you too. See the hearts, and I appreciate each and every one of you. Have a wonderful July 31st. I'm going to see you guys on August 1st, tomorrow, Friday. We're going to have a lot of conversations about AI. So this is not the last one, but the replays may be off. So if they're off, just join the room. But just know when you click the link, it will take you somewhere where you can actually access the replay. So that's going to be happening very soon. So we're moving to Amazon. We're moving to new platforms. We're just having a whole new leaf, and it's going to be a great fall season. So till then, have a blessed day. See you tomorrow, and stay blessed. And don't do anything that would make you stressed, because we're here to help each other grow. Now, that was an episode, right? Thank you so much for listening to the We Don't Play podcast show. I'm so glad that you're here and you are sticking tight with us, especially to the very end. Now, this is season 11, and we're going to do it differently. And I want to make sure that every episode you listen to has something to give back so that you can also learn more after you listen. Now, We Don't Play podcast show is where you listen, you live, you learn, and you earn. So if you're in any of those positions out of those four, please make sure that you reach out to me. Send out an email through info@playinc.online. That's info@playinc.online. Or you could go to playinc.online, which is a website, www.playinc.online, playinc.online, and schedule a call so that we can get you on an SEO discovery call to talk about your business and help you with your marketing needs. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope this helped you. See you in the next episode. God bless you. Jesus loves you.